And now, mic number 2. Please take your time. First, introduce yourself.
Thanks a lot. Good evening, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, sir. My name is Muhammad Farouk Osman. I'm a Year 3 NUS Sociology major. I'm a Singaporean. The recent general election has witnessed issues pertaining to reforming our social safety net and ensuring that no Singaporean is left behind in the midst of globalization being debated. For example, it has been argued that more could be done for lower-income Singaporeans apart from the parsimonious workfare payments. Moreover, middle-income Singaporeans have been experiencing wage stagnation for the past few years. All this could lead to social instability. So my question is, what measures should be taken by the present government to remake our social compact for a more equitable Singapore? Thank you very much.
Well, I'm not the Prime Minister, so I cannot answer your question. But I know the problem he faces. I've explained to you, if you solve the problem at the lower end, you're going to upset the people in the middle end. You solve the problem at the middle end, the upper end will be upset. Everybody demands a bite of the cherry. And we haven't got limitless reserves. If we run through the reserves, once we go in for welfarism, as the West have gone, like Britain, Europe, and to a lesser extent America, you will have a stagnant economy. Because welfare, social security means you work hard, I get the same benefits as the other chap who doesn't work hard. So why should I work so hard? So there is no personal motivation and drive to accomplish something for yourself. A drive comes only when you say, I work hard, my family will do well, my relatives will do well, and I'll put something by for my future. So you've got to find, at the same time, you cannot say just leave them homeless and without health, housing, education. So in the basics, you have to give everybody the same platform from which for their children to excel. But beyond that, if I'm in charge of policy, I would not go into welfare policies. I think it's deleterious to performance of the whole economy. Does that answer your question?
Actually, not really, because the thing is that even if now Singapore is in a stage where we are entering a globalized economy, right? And so with the globalized economy, we are more exposed to the fluctuations in the global economy. And more Singaporeans, especially the lower income Singaporeans, they won't be able to help themselves because wages are stagnating. According to a Straits Times report, we are a first world country, but our wage structure is a third world. We have a third world wage structure. So it is an issue.
It's easy for an editor of the Straits Times to write that. But if he's in charge of economic policy and he has to consider the long-term consequences of changing that policy, he'll have to think very carefully through it. I've already explained to you how my thought processes work. How would you do it? You tell me.
Oh, how I do it? Okay.
No, you have thought about the problem.
Yeah, sure.
How would you do it?
I think for a start, we should reform the workfare scheme. We pay them more. Because I understand that currently low-income earners, they can get up to $2,000 per year.
They are a small minority. What about the lower middle class? They are the majority.
For the lower middle class, okay.
You haven't thought through the problem. Think over it carefully, and then you ask me a question the next time we meet.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. May we have a question from this side now, on the higher side? Yes, please.
Good morning, Mr. Lee. My name is Alvin, Year 1 student from Mechanical Engineering. Okay, this question is opposed to a speech made by you in 1967. Okay, so it's from your memoir. the crucial years, page 361. Okay, so this is what you quoted. So we have left Stamford Raffles standing on his pinnacle outside the Victoria Memorial Hall, but for him, Singapore will still be a mud flat. Let us not pretend it was anything else. This speech was given in 1967, a dinner hosted by United Kingdom Manufacturer Association, 1 month before the British announced its military withdrawal. Okay, my question is, 40 years on, what are your thoughts of preserving the relics of the colonial past and acknowledging the heritage of the British as opposed to a speech made in 1967?
I've not changed my mind. You cannot rewrite history. Raffles founded the place, the British built it up. They did not transform it. We transformed it. My generation has not named bridges, roads, nor put statues up. When we are dead and gone, maybe the generation after us may want to thank us if they think we've done a good job. But you cannot deny, you cannot erase what was achieved by those who went before us. You are denying history. You are kidding yourself. Do you want to do that?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, I see we are reaching at least 40 minutes of our session. Could we have your permission to entertain at least a few more questions, please? Yeah.
Go ahead, until 1:45.
Okay, until 1:45. Good. Could we have the students to ask their most burning questions? And perhaps now I turn to a female student. Could you tell us your name and also your age and your school?
Good evening, Mr. Lee. I'm Fiona from Accountancy Year 2. I'm 20 years old this year. My question is, youths are becoming more politically aware since the recent elections. What do you think of this trend? And do you have any advice for us youths in terms of understanding the governance and politics of Singapore?
When you say they're politically aware, all it means, what do you mean by that? Because to be aware of the political situation in Singapore, you have to be aware of the political divides between classes, the way the economy is going, what opportunities there are for different groups of people. So, being politically aware after the election means you just got excited over the election and voted for one party or the other. That does not mean you're politically aware. If they were politically aware, the votes must have been much wiser.